Hey guys, gather around, it's story time. So I'm making this video because I'm really upset. I think I'm a little bit more level-headed today, but I'm really upset with Toyota. This in the background right here is our 2013 Scion FRS, and it is a beautiful paperweight right now. There is an EGR Monitor Not Ready sensor that won't fix itself. Usually it should go into a ready state in order to pass smog. It does not. The car, as you can see, is intact. No damage to the car. It is a little dirty, but it's beautiful nonetheless. Where this all started? There's a recall in 2019 for the Scion FRS due to valve springs. We took that into the service center at Manhattan Beach Toyota, which first of all I'd like to thank Carl Boyd, Christian Ramirez, and the general manager there, Bradley Sperber, who have gone above and beyond helping me over the course of these last 8 months or so. Where Toyota wouldn't step up, they did. But this struck a chord with me because I feel like I've been an advocate for the brand. And as a Toyota fanboy and a Subaru fanboy, it hurts to see a manufacturer as large as Toyota not show loyalty to its customers, right? So where do we start? The recall in 2019, the engine on the car died due to the cause of the valve springs. In late February, they took it in. They determined it was the valve springs that took out the engine. So they replaced the entire long block along with some accessories. Something like a $13,000 service tag or something went into that was covered under warranty. I believe with that is about a 1 year, 10,000 mile warranty that goes with it. However, it was over in February 2021. Smog was due for this car in June 2021. So you can see kind of where, at this point, my gray area starts. So outside of the warranty window, June 2021, they take it for smog, and it fails. It fails due to an EGR monitor not ready. And as you know, or may not know, in California, we have the strictest smog or emissions testing in the nation. And this is where it gets hairy. So the smog technician just told me, you need to drive it more. So we did. We drove it as much as we could during the pandemic, and it still wouldn't set itself. So, this is fast forward to now January this year, 2022, where we finally left it at the dealership. They recommended we drive it again, do some proper drive cycles. I did, sent it back, and the goodwill of Toyota, they goodwill an ECU, so they swapped the ECU, told me to drive it another 300-400 miles. I did. Monitor still didn't set itself, kept failing smog. The dealership tried to smog it as well. It didn't work. So take it back. They began to do a lot more troubleshooting. They started to get engineers involved. At this rate, come March, I believe, or early April, they finally came back and said that there's a code for catalytic converter failure, which I was reluctant to replace through the dealership, but I did anyway. I said, let's play some ball, let's go ahead and get that replaced. So I spent $850, whatever that was, at the dealership to get that resolved. They did their testing, their drive cycles there at the dealership, and it still didn't set. After that, another engineer came by, recommended that they change the VVTI timing gear on the engine. They replaced that. Didn't make any changes or effects to the car. The EGR monitor still not ready. So then I think we're fast forwarding into May. I think they recommended replacing, I think, another ECU. So we started to chase our tails now. So they replaced, I think, the ECU again. This is the second time, with still no luck. So we're in August now. In this whole time, I've been working with law firms for lemon law. Unfortunately, I fall into that category where the gray area is not in my favor. I fall into this area where I am out of warranty. The car is 10 years old. It has 90,000 miles now. And I have nothing. So lemon law has been denied twice through 2 different law firms. I also I filed a complaint through Toyota Corporate several times, and there's records of that, going through. Toyota refused to do a buyback on the vehicle. Instead, insisted to have more engineers go look at the car. So, several months or weeks, hours, I think well over 100 man hours have gone into this car. As the service advisor Carl there at Manhattan Beach Toyota told me, it looked like the car was an ICU. You got all sorts of wires and diagnostic tools attached to it, and no one can figure out what's happening with the car. So why am I making a fuss of this? Number one, I can't sell the car. If I wanted to, I can't sell it because I can't register it in California. It won't pass smog, number one. And I can't drive it. That's the bigger downside. I can't drive it. It is not legal to be on the road because it is not smog legal. So, most people would say, well, find the plug, right, and pass smog. But that's not really what this is about, right? I wanted to have this pass smog, be a reliable car, and I can't have that. It won't do that. So, yeah, after many calls with Toyota and a lot of denials here and there, finally come down to an agreement with the dealership. The GM at Manhattan Beach Toyota had to step up for Toyota Corporate and really put his neck out there to try to get them to give me some sort of, credit to purchase a new vehicle or, something to, fix this whole situation. At this point, I haven't driven the car in over a year. It's dusty as heck because it's been sitting there at the dealership. So yeah, I'm at my wit's end. Since the car came out, we've been a huge advocate, or I've been a huge advocate of the car, the brand. The pairing with Toyota and Subaru I thought was fantastic. It took us many places, Scion to SEMA. We went to a lot of car shows, thanks to a lot of our contacts here through Toyota, as well as Scion, which is no longer existing. And it was even in a commercial, which I'll post there somewhere. It was in a commercial with ASAP Bills, one of the biggest highlights of this car. And here we are today. Toyota refuses to buy back the vehicle, instead insist on having more engineers touch the vehicle and try to resolve the problem rather than, say, hey, let's put you in a new car. Or, here's, XYZ amount of money for it. And they won't do that. So where does that put us? As a consumer, it's terrible to say. I understand I'm out of warranty. The car is 10 years old. But here's the biggest issue that I see with this. Toyota issued a recall, and sure enough, our car suffered catastrophic failure through that recall. And they fixed it, or they killed it, one or the other. So what does that mean? That means that, whatever work was done per the instructions of Toyota Corporate has now put us in a bind where we can't really use this car, right? It won't pass smog. It sucks. In other words, Toyota or Subaru, whoever you want to put a blame here, killed the car with this service. It's perfectly intact. It drives, but it won't pass smog. So again, I'm doing this video. If you're watching this, tag away, spread the video. Toyota needs to hear about it. It's not right that they leave their customers hanging, that they leave their customers in the, just lost without solutions. And I'm not the only one. There is a huge thread, which I'll link below, where many people have done the JO2 recall service and are still experiencing failures with the car. Not the same as mine. We all have unique failures, but something's not right. Something's not buttoned up here with this service recall. And it's, again, I am at a loss for words, as much loyalty as I think myself and any other advocate of this car and fan of these cars um, shown to the brand, they're not showing that same loyalty back. We're not getting that reciprocated. So, yeah, I just want everyone to be aware. Whether or not I have this car here in the next couple of days or couple of weeks, this is not going to go away. This is going to continue because Toyota needs to step up, take some accountability and some responsibility for their customers. It's not fair to people like us who, were forced into this recall due to a manufacturer's defect from the factory. And now we have to deal with consequences where we can't drive the car, or like myself, have been without this car for about a year, or haven't been able to, it's been sitting at the dealership for about 8 months. So it's unfair to say, and I'm really upset. But again, if you're watching this, please share this video, tag Toyota, tag them in the comments, like and subscribe, even hit the dislike button, because I don't even like doing this stuff. I'm not an influencer by any means, but our voices need to be heard. The community, like I said, I'm not the only one. There's many people in the community out there who are probably suffering the same, if not more, from recalls like this. And maybe there needs to be something that needs to be addressed, right? Like lemon law clauses need to be reassessed, for examples like mine. Before I get any more upset, like and subscribe, hit the dislike button, hate this video, do whatever you want, spread this on the internet like wildfire. Toyota needs to do something, and they need to step up.